Welcome to the week of October 11th. I am citrinechaka if this is your first time seeing me. Now, some of you who know me on other places in social media, you know me as Astrology or just D. Um, anyway, this is going to be the weekly zodiac messages and astrological report for the week of October 11th. So let's get right into it. Now, on October 11th, you are being asked to do it big. Why? We have the sun in a square to Jupiter. The sun always wants to do something big. The sun always wants to shine and be bright and just be brilliant. You put the sun in a square to Jupiter. Jupiter is asking the sun, yes, I see you want to do it, but let's go ahead and do it big. Okay? So when the sun is in a square to Jupiter, you are being asked to do it big. If you have plans floating around in your head, you're being asked to think about them on a bigger scale because Jupiter is always expanding everything. So Jupiter is there and Jupiter wants to expand whatever the sun is focusing on, okay? They're in a square because the challenge might come in. You might want to do something, but the challenge, which is the square part of it, the challenge comes in when you realize, yes, I want to do this, but let me take it a step further and do it big, okay? So the sun in a square to Jupiter on October 11th is going to be asking you to do it, but do it big, okay? Now, on the 12th, we have Jupiter in a sextile to Neptune. This is a continuation of the sun in a square to Jupiter because Jupiter in a sextile to Neptune is asking you to dream big. It's asking you to be motivated about your dreams. Remember, Jupiter expands, Neptune dreams. So around this time, you're being asked to expand your dreams. So do it big, dream big around this time. Also on the 12th, you have Mercury in a sextile to Venus. Okay, this is a time where it is a very lighthearted energy where you will know exactly what to say to comfort someone around this time. Okay, now on the 13th, we have Mercury going retrograde. Okay, Mercury will be retrograde on October 13th. And remember, if you are sensitive to energies, you could very well be feeling all of this energy even before the exact dates that we have mentioned here. Okay. Now, on the same day, we have the sun in an opposition to Mars. Okay. This could very well be a day where people are battling each other because their egos want to act out. Okay. Now on the 15th, we have the sun in a square to Pluto. This is another day where you will be willing to fight for your beliefs. You will be willing to stand up for your rights around this time. Okay. And then on the 16th, we have the new moon in Libra. Okay. So that's everything that's going on, or at least that's a general summary of what's going on. Now, this week, instead of using cards, I'm going to use runes, excuse me, to give the zodiac messages. This is my bag of runes, okay? Now, all of the runes feel alike in the bag. I'm just going to show you a few. These are the runes. They all feel alike, so I don't know which one I'm pulling, okay? So I'm just going to shake up the bag each time and move on to the next sign. So we will start off with Aries. Okay, so let's pull a rune for Aries for the week of October 11th. Aries, let's see what is in store for Aries. I'll show you the rune. So Aries, you have the rune known as Gabo. Can you see it? You have the rune known as Gabo. This is going to be a very generous week for you. If you have If you're thinking about sending anyone a gift, you could very well have that gift reciprocated back to you. This is a great week for you to buy lottery tickets. I'm not saying go broke buying lottery, but when Gabo shows up, it can denote winning. It can denote fortune as well. Okay. This is a great week if you are into magic. Gabo can denote sex magic. So a lot of you who are into that, this is a great week to participate in that for you. That is the message for Aries. Now let's move on to Taurus. Taurus. Shake the bag up and pull one for Taurus. Taurus. Let's see, what do you have? You have the rune known as Naughties. Naughties, and I might be pronouncing it wrong. This is not my original language or whatever. Naughties. Okay. So this week, a lot of Taurus people, you might be going through a difficult lesson this week. Okay. You might find that you have a wake-up call about something this week. Okay. A lot of time this rune, it can denote a wake-up call. Okay. Which is going to force you to analyze a situation. Okay. So just beware. That is for Taurus. Let's move on. Next is Gemini. What is in store for Geminis? So Geminis, you have the rune known as Issa. Issa. So this week, Geminis, you are being asked to reflect. You're being asked to stay calm this week. This is the rune known as Issa. Okay. Also, when this rune shows up, it is asking you not to start anything new this week. Okay. That was for Gemini. Next, we have Cancer. Shake the bag up. Shake, 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 shake. Shake it up. All right, here we go. This is for Cancer. Cancer. This is the rune that is known as Ingwaz. Okay, so for a lot of Cancers this week, you might be preoccupied with matters involving investments or certain pleasures, basically. So when this rune shows up, you might be tempted to isolate yourself. You might want to isolate yourself so that you can do some healing. Okay. It kind of makes me think of the Hermit card in the tarot in a way, because sometimes when this rune shows up, it can talk about you isolating yourself or withdrawing so that you can work on yourself. Okay, so if that has been on your mind, this is going to be a good week for you to do that, to do any type of self-healing or shadow work that you've been thinking about. Okay, that was for Cancer. Let's move on to Leo. Leo. All right, let's shake the bag up. Get a room for Leo. Let's see what is in store for Leo. So Leos, you have the rune known as Owathala. Okay. Some Leos could very well hear about a what do you call it when someone leaves you something from the family? Inheritance. Some of you might hear about an inheritance. This is also a rune that talks about your spiritual power. So some of you Leos could really step into your spiritual power this week, okay? Or you could receive a message, a spiritual message from the universe asking you to step into your spiritual power. And it could very well be coming from your ancestors, because this rune can deal with ancestral spiritual power. Okay, so a lot of Leos this week are going to be stepping into their spiritual power. And if you're not, at least be open to it. Be open to it. Okay, even if you don't have any idea how it's going to happen, be open to stepping into your spiritual power. That is a message for Leos. Now, let's move on to Virgos. Get a message for Virgos. Shake the bag up. Virgo. Let's pull one for Virgo. See, what does Virgo have? So Virgo, you have the rune known as Wonjo. So a lot of Virgos might be having something going on with your career this week. When this rune shows up, it can talk about career opportunities. So keep your eyes and ears open, Virgo, because this is the rune that deals with career opportunities. Okay, that was for Virgo. Now let's move on to Libra. Shake the bag up. Libra, what is in store for Libra? All right, Libra. So Libras, you have the rune that is known as Laguz. Okay, this is the rune that you have to beware of emotional blackmail this week. Okay, someone might try to make you feel guilty for the way you feel. Okay, and it can be something as simple as your kids, they ask you to do something, you tell them no, then they go and ask their dad or their other parent. So you might be the brunt of some type of emotional blackmail this week, okay? This rune is just asking you to have balance and pay attention to your dreams this week. That was for Libra. Next is Scorpio. Let's take the bag up and get Scorpio a message. Scorpio. So Scorpio, I think somebody had just had this one too. So Scorpio, you have the rune. Can you see it? You have the rune known as Wonjo. You could possibly have career opportunities that present themselves to you this week. This is for Scorpios. Okay. This rune is asking you to remain faithful as well. Okay. Let's move on to Sagittarius. Shake the bag up. Sagittarius. So let's see what you have, Sagittarius. 1 minute. I'll show you the rune. This is the rune known as T-Wise. Okay. So when this rune shows up, it is guaranteeing victory for you. So if you have been working on anything and you've been wondering, am I going to be successful in this or that? A lot of you Sagittarius this week are going to feel victorious. Okay. You're going to feel like any dangers, you're going to feel like they have been avoided. And a lot of you Sagittarius are going to feel like you have clarity about something this week as well. Okay. Let's move on to Capricorn. What is the message for Capricorn? Let's see. Let me show it to you up close. Get my little cat over my shoulder. Capricorn. Look at this. This is one of my favorite runes. This is the rune known as Rido or Rado. Okay. This rune is all about being enthusiastic this week. It is about travel. It is about movement. It's about transportation. This rune also talks about street smarts. So as you go to and fro this week, Capricorn, you're being asked to have street smarts as well. Watch your back, okay, as you go out. But this is a great rune because it talks about movement. It talks about traveling. So this should be a great week for Capricorns. You have the rune known as Rado. Rado, however you want to say it. Next is Aquarius. Let's shake the bag up. Let's see what Aquarius gets. All right. What do we have, Aquarius? Can you see it? This is the rune known as Pertho. Aquarius, go out and get your lottery ticket. Don't go broke buying scratch-offs and lotteries, but a lot of you have a great possibility of winning some money this week. This is the rune known as Pertho, and Pertho is the rune of coincidence through magic guessing. So guess some numbers and play those numbers this week and see what happens. If you win, that's great. You can send me some money, okay? If you lose, at least you tried. Have fun with it, okay? You have the rune known as Pertho, Aquarius. All right, let's finish everything off with Pisces. What is the message for Pisces this week? Pisces, what do you have? Show it to you up close. I think someone else had this one earlier. Pisces, you have the rune known as Laguz. This is the rune of introspection, medicine. Also, this is a rune of emotional blackmail. So beware of anyone trying to throw a guilt trip on you this week. Just know that it might come up this week. And if so, you will be prepared. Okay? But this is also the rune that is asking you to do some introspection this week. Okay? Overall, it's going to be a great week. That was for Pisces. So that wraps up all of the zodiac messages and the astrological report. So I hope everyone has a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check out my website if you would like to book a private paid reading. Have a great week.